Welcome back. Let's get you the latest on how the shutdown is impacting air travel after Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy announced last week that flights would be cut, you'll remember, due to staffing shortages caused by the shutdown. Well, airlines canceled nearly 3,000 flights and delayed more than 10,000 across the country on Sunday. That is the most since the shutdown began. Airlines began rolling out flight reductions over the weekend after the announcement from Duffy. And the cuts began at 4% at some high-traffic airports, and that percentage is set to increase to 10% by the end of this week. Kris van Cleave joins us from Sky Harbor Airport in Phoenix this morning. Kris, good morning to you. Just how bad are things out there for flyers?
Well, good morning, Errol. Yesterday was the single worst day for travelers since the shutdown began. It was the worst weekend for travelers since the shutdown began. Today is going to have its own share of headaches. You know, the FAA reduced those flights in an effort to reduce the burden on controllers. It appears, though, that the burden of working without pay for 40 days and counting may be reaching a breaking point.
A delayed and frustrating weekend for flyers. More than 25,000 delays and over 5,500 cancellations. And that's after the FAA ordered airlines to cut flights at 40 of the nation's busiest airports to take pressure off the system.
Our best case scenario is that we'll be able to leave here in 2 hours.
Much of the issue due to a surge in air traffic controllers' sick calls, hitting a shutdown high of at least 81 staffing shortfalls at FAA facilities Saturday, according to the Transportation Secretary, with more on Sunday.
We're delayed right off the get-go. We hadn't even left for the airport yet, so then we missed our connecting flight in Minneapolis.
In Atlanta, the world's busiest airport saw nearly 500 cancellations Sunday after just 4 of the 22 air traffic controllers scheduled showed up to work Saturday. The average delay hit nearly 5 hours. Dallas, Fort Myers, Florida, and all 3 of the New York City area airports were hit with staffing delays Sunday.
Family of 4 here, 4 kids. We were forced to kind of sleep in the airport.
Controllers are poised to miss a second paycheck this week due to the government shutdown. Airlines will again cancel 4% of flights to those 40 airports today. That'll climb to 6% Tuesday and hit 1 in 10 flights by Friday. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says more flights may need to be cut.
It doesn't get better. It gets worse until these air traffic controllers are going to be paid.
Airlines are locking in their cuts for the rest of the week, their cancellations from that FAA order. There is weather in parts of the country that will be a headache for flyers today, and residual delays and cancellations because of the meltdown yesterday. It's shaping up to be a challenging week, and Errol, something to think about as lawmakers in the House may need to quickly make their way back to Washington later this week. There will be fewer and fewer seats available to the D.C. area with every passing day, and the Thanksgiving travel rush, it starts a week from Friday.
That's right.
Errol?
Folks in Congress not immune from those flight delays and hiccups. Kris van Cleave with all the latest. Thank you.